No one let me pass on that registry.
Yeah, representing myself as well as African Hip Hop Radio, an NC producer / DJ and some more stuff within the hip hop movement.
It was basically a seminar about young artists in the hip hop genre and how they can make it, and basically how they can do hip hop for a living.
How do I put it? The people that are going to be doing the workshop, it seems to be very interesting because those are basically the pioneers of South African hip hop and African hip hop in general. So yeah, I'm looking forward to attend the workshop.
Yeah, DJ Lady, similar story as Razer. Yeah, we'll chat a bit as our discussions go along. Thanks a lot for coming to spending this time with us.
Okay, and I'm Simon Sibanda. I'm originally from Joburg, but now we're from Cape Town. Nice to meet you all.
Hi, I'm Emil. Yeah.
And I'm Shamima.
I'm Adam. I'm the guy who's got cameras and microphones in their rooms while they're doing the stuff they say they do. I think this is an interesting, it's a fairly historic event. B-boys, MCs, etc. have often come together, graph artists have come together to talk about the politics of hip-hop. But I think this is probably the first time people get together to talk about the business of hip-hop. Oftentimes, artists in Cape Town specifically have been looked down upon by cats from Joburg. And I don't mean, with reference to hip-hop specifically, I mean in all genres of music. Artists from Cape Town are often seen to be less ambitious, less skilled, less professional, less everything. There are a number of Cape Town hip-hop activists, hip-hop artists / activists, who for over 2 decades, for just about over 2 decades, have managed, 20 odd years, 21, 22 years, have managed to not just be passionate about hip-hop as an art form, but have managed to sustain themselves and to do more than live on the poverty line, to actually feed themselves, put food on the table, have children, and live the lives that many middle class and upper middle class people live. And we're here to ask them how they do it. How do they do it? How does that happen? And essentially the question, quite simply, is how can I make a living in hip-hop?
We kind of got exactly what I expected because we've done so much of these talks with a lot of the people in the room, but it was nice to see a couple of new faces. And some of the people that haven't been at these talks before, they raised very interesting questions as well.
At the end of the day, everybody over here wants to be heard. And you can't have an ego if you want to be heard.
Yeah.
There's a platform, and if your ego is too strong to take that platform to say that I don't want to be a sellout, how do you expect to be heard?
Yeah.
So I would like anybody to define the word sellout.
The big companies or whatever discover you and you start doing commercial music. Okay, anyway, you want to change your style or your production, but maybe it's time for your music to become commercial. The way it is, people are going to think you're selling out automatically.
Not everybody might have the same approach. Yes, hard work is hard work, but how do you do your hard work? What is your formula, And at the same time also, businesses or business minds, sponsors are sponsors, they're not the artists for a reason. So if you are good at being both artist and the person who sources your funding or whatever, or business mind at the same time, then, are you able to pave and be a pioneer in what you do? Because not too long ago, hip-hop wasn't popular. But now you turn on the TV, it's everywhere. You turn on the radio, it's there. How did that happen?
There's a dilemma, and I want to throw this challenge out all around the world. I got asked to work for the United Nations this year or last year, I can't remember, because there's a dilemma. In urban areas, young people are the biggest growing market all around the world, and they don't know what to do with them. Who's reaching them? Hip-hop artists. I think that's an opportunity. And it's not just here, it's all over the world.
I didn't expect this whole lot of information about people in the industry who's in there and giving us the information as artists, you know, bringing out our stuff. So I really enjoyed it and appreciated it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in my opinion, I think that it dealt mostly with almost the industry side of things, like the idea of like signing deals or playing in a club, or I brought it up about the majority of people don't really survive just doing that. There's a lot of different things that they have to, you know, do in order to make a living.
Happens with sponsored money, like how do you make money from sponsored money? Do they give you actual cash and then you use that to throw the hip hop in Dabo or whatever, and then what happens with the money that you make? Is the money, like, can you make money from free money type of deal? Yeah. And then if I could just pose the other question, and then I just wanted to know, like, I DJ myself and stuff, so I just want to know, how do I know what to charge a club? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to compare myself to really D's and Azuls and things like that. But like in my terms, I also feel that I yeah, okay, so so you know, like how do I know?
With applying for funds, sometimes, like say you apply for 150,000, the company comes in, they give you 50,000, and they give it specifically for one section of what you asked for. Very seldom that they will give you all the money. This is how it works. Or actually never. They'll never give you all the money. So then you have to stick to the guidelines of what they're expecting from you.
For us is to summarize where the work ended up tonight, and to start planning around you know, the more consistent training at a higher level, to constantly engage in this community. What I find frustrating is that there's no consistency. You get one gig and then 6 months later, even 2 years later, you get something connected to that. For us, the next step is to build a consistent framework, training, interaction, dialogue, and develop a community that is dynamic and can, through meeting regularly, building relationships, find and latch onto people that can start taking them forward in their own thinking, in their own development, in their own aspirations. And this starting point has to be a consistent platform of training and interaction.